No, once again, really, we object to this kind of evidence. We've already raised an objection that it's irrelevant, it's CSA evidence. We're going to leave it there, my lord. We're not going to raise any further objection.
May I withdraw the question, my lord? Sir, was there anything relating to accused number 1 that was mentioned in that office?
Ikhona into ebekade imayelana nomsolo wokuqala eyakhulunywa ngalelo langa kuyo lelo office. They had said they arrested him on the 19th of March, arresting him for the case of Senzo.
So the 19th March, which year?
19 March kumupunyaka?
2019.
2019.
Yes. In that office, what was your, after you were informed about his arrest, accused number 1?
Sorry. Mr. Mgomezulu, when allegedly did Mr. Senzo Meyiwa die?
Sorry, ma'am.
Allegedly, when is it said that Mr. Senzo Meyiwa died?
26 October 2014.
2014. That's fine.
My lord has me so confused. What does he mean when allegedly did Senzo Meyiwa die? Sir! Well, my lord, is he disputing the fact that Senzo Meyiwa passed away, or he's disputing the date of when Senzo Meyiwa passed away? Ngomezulu responds and says it's the 26th of October 2014, and he proceeds to move on. But thank you so much for confirming and watching this series. We are now on part 3 of Warrant Officer Makhubo, and just going back in time to figure out why is there a threat on Warrant Officer Makhubo's life. But so far we have discovered that Warrant Officer Makhubo, he was in the office with General Leshabane and General Sevilla. Well, at the time it was former General Sevilla, who was no longer a SAPS employee. He was fired in 2015, but that meeting occurred many years later, okay, in 2019. So why was General Sevilla, a civilian, seated in that office? You see, I don't understand. I don't understand. I mentioned that in my previous video, but in this video, we continue to see Advocate Valois, state prosecutor, part of the NPA, continuously, okay, work really hard to object any reference or any direction towards Docket 375, or should I say Makhubo introducing his docket to this court. Make sure you stay to the end because it's going to be interesting. And you know what, right now, right here, just go ahead and like the video. Like the video for my efforts to go back and pull these back up to the forefront for you.
Proceed.
I
said...
You were still asking me a question?
Yes. In relation to accused number 1, I want you to tell the court your involvement about what you were told about accused number 1.
Manje ufuna ukuthi utshele inkantolo ukuthi wena uye wayenzani ngalento ebukade utshelwe ngomsolo wokuqala.
Futhi mhlambe ngichaze or ukuthi mawuthi akuthangisise kahle ngiyenzani.
I do not understand the question properly. Should I explain what I did, or how am I supposed to respond?
All right. There's a problem of the state. If you say this is what was said by General Shabane, it amounts to hearsay. But now what accused number 1 told the court that he was arrested on the 19th of March 2019. What actually happened? Because you cannot say what General Shabane has said. According to your own, after you have been related with the information about the death of Senzo, you as warrant officer, you as the investigating officer in this matter, what did you do?
Uthi ummeli kuba nenkinga uma uthi ulishabani uye wangitshela ukuthi lokho kuba nenkinga ingokho umshushise libele ephakama. Ufuna ukwazi ukuthi wena njengephoyisa ebelikade liphenya wenzeni ngokwakho?
Should information bebanayo beyishayisana nalo lwazi mina engilaziyo mayelana nale case.
The information that they had was contradictory to the information that I had relating to this case.
What do you mean by that?
Usho ukuthini uma usho kanjalo?
Ukuthi ngeke ngisasho ukuthi bathi ngo-number 1 kwenzakalani. Baze bathinta ngo-number 5. U-number 5 ngiyamazi ke.
I will not state what they said with regards to number 1. They also implicated number 5, whom I know.
Okay. Accused number 1 has told the court that he was arrested by the police, he was assaulted, he was taken to Chlorocop for interrogation. And accused number 1 told the court that there was Zongo. He had the names because he didn't know who those people were. He had the names of Zongo, Makhubo, Sibiya, and Shaban.
Umsolo wokuqala yena uthi yebo uboshiwe ngo-2019 la ukuthi uye washawa futhi wayisiwa eChlorokop wezwa ngoba wayekade engabazi labo bantu wezwa amagama uZungu, uSibiya, Makhubo noLshabani.
Njengoba sengichazile ukuthi mina bengikhona eChlorokop. Kukhona mina, kukhona uZungu, kukhona yena uJenerali Shabane noSibiya.
As I have testified that,
Kulelo office lelo ngangikhona kulo.
as I have testified that I was present in that particular office in Chlorokop, Zungu was present, Sibiya was present, as well as Leshabani in that particular office that I was in.
All right, say. Let's say after that meeting, being the investigating officer of the case, was accused number 1 charged formally from the information that were given.
Manje ngale ngemva kwalowo mhlangano onibe nawo kuleya nkantolo kuleliya office. Umsolo wokuqala uye wathweswa amacala na ngemva kokuthi uthole lelo lwazi leli belikade
Was he
nihlanganele.
charged with the death of Senzo Meyiwa?
Uye wathweswa icala lika Senzo Meyiwa lokubulawa kuka Senzo Meyiwa.
Ngokwazi kwami azange wagcina ngokuboshwa nje kodwa azange ekhotho.
According to my information or knowledge, the last that happened was for him to be arrested, but he never appeared in court.
All right. So when did you learn that accused number 1 was further arrested on the same allegations?
Manje uzwe nini futhi ukuthi umsolo wokuqala uboshiwe ngazo lezo insolo lezo?
Mina ngazwa nje kuthiwa kunabantu ababoshiwe abawu-5 ekhasini kaSenzo.
I only heard that there were 5 people that were arrested with regards to the case of Senzo Meyiwa.
I did not mean that we must give evidence against the state because we are also working for the state. But
First of all, kudos to Moses Sevilla for remembering the names of people who were in the room when he was arrested. I have to say, I don't think I could be able to remember names. And it's not like they introduced themselves to him. They were probably talking amongst each other and he memorized their names. What? I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. But I guess he maybe memorized it by association. For example, Zungu, he probably, I don't know how he did it. But what is impressive is that he got it right. And then not only did he get it right, Warrant Officer Makhubo confirms exactly what he says. What? So Zungu was in the room. Sevilla, I'm not sure what he's doing there. I still don't know what he's doing there. He was not an employee of South African Police Services, but hey, he's in the room. Maybe he was an attorney. Maybe he was Moses Sevilla's legal. I don't know. Let me know if you know in the comment section why he was there, or this was a case of personal interest for him. But why would South African Police Services give access to a civilian? Such access, then in this case, then many people would be present in such situations for their family members and friends. I don't know. Makhubo says he was there. General Leshabane, who Ngomezulu desperately wanted to bring to the stand to ask him specific questions. I bet you he had instructions from Umuzi Sevilla. Will Mzansi transfer those instructions over to Advocate Mnisi in the coming term? We are yet to find that out. So we're going to put a pin on that and we will be observing that. And of course, I'll be back to report back on it when it does happen. What is it that Mzansi instructed Ngomezulu with regards to General Lishabane and General Sevilla? I feel there's something there. I feel there's something there, okay? The water is heating over there. But so we're proceeding on, and now we're going to the second part. And I want to point your attention here. I'm going to link a video because I've done this before, where the video was titled, I think, Patricia Mashale refuses to sign her warrant statement. And that's an important video that I think you should also watch or revisit, because I think everybody needs to know their rights. It also outlines what's in the warrant statement. I read and describe the warrant statement to you. So I think it'll be great background information for this next portion of the video that we are going into. So I was going to say shout out to Ngomezulu for these questions. I still don't know how to transition now. Ngomezulu did a brilliant job, because now he walks Makhubo into what exactly happens at the South African Police Services when someone has a confession. Is it something normal? Is it something that happens often? What exactly is a confession? What does it entail? How is it documented? So we're about to find out about Mzansi's confession, or alleged confession, or the moment he allegedly said, you know what, I'm just going to confess. Let's go ahead and continue listening on. Of course, I'll be back with the rest of my commentary.
If you have any knowledge in relation to how a confession is taken, can you assist this court?
Sorry. I like to understand concepts. You are putting it to this witness that you don't intend him to give evidence against the state because he is working for the state. Am I understanding you correctly?
That's correct.
What is he doing now? I thought you said he's still a policeman.
Yes,
He's not giving evidence against the state.
he is, but
Okay, fine. As long
that's
as you're
correct.
clear then.
Can you please assist the court in relation to the procedure of taking a confession if a suspect intends to make a confession? What procedure must be followed?
As a court, please, my lord. How can
Yeah, we know that he's not the justice of the
a
peace.
junior
Can you
officer-
complain about that?
Yes, as a court, please.
We all know the law. He said he's a warrant officer.
That's correct.
It's not the justice of the peace.
My lord, I never said he took a confession.
You said the
He has
procedure.
referred matters
Okay, fine,
where
fine.
the suspect,
Fine.
if, say, let me just clarify this, because I can see there's a bit of misunderstanding. Since the years of your employment in the SAPS, have you came across a suspect who wanted to make a confession? And what procedure did you follow?
Kuso sonke lesikhathi lesi osisebenze njengephoyisa kuke kwaba nesikhathi na la ukuthi umsolwa uke wafuna ukugunyuluka efuna ukusho iqiniso lezinto ezenzakele. Mhlawumbe wena uma ingabe uye waba nalo lolo lwazi, wena uye wathatha ziphi inyathelo?
Ekuphenyeni nje baningi abagonyoluka ekuphenyeni wami.
Upon my investigations, there are a lot of suspects that confessed in my investigations.
Yes.
Ngiyaqhubeka?
What is the procedure that you usually follow?
Eziphi inyathelo enizithathayo uma umuntu sekazogunyuluka?
Okay, ngizoqala kanje.
I will start in this manner.
Ususpect uyaboshwa.
The suspects get arrested,
Ngaleso sikhathi une-evidence.
and at that time you would be having evidence,
Ususpect ifana ecourt before 48 hours expired.
and the suspect should appear in court before the expiry of 48 hours.
So ufane wena njengomuntu ophethe icase umcharge before ecourt.
And as an officer, you need to charge that person before they appear before the magistrate.
Umcharge ke umthatha iminwe yakhe.
And charging a person, you need to take their fingerprints
Nokuthi umthathe i-warning statement.
and also take a warning statement.
Yes.
Inkinga
Ngiyaqhubeka?
ke ifika la ku-warning statement. Khona la kuyiphathi i-warning statement ebhaliwe ukuthi statement by the suspect.
Manje, now the problem comes where there is on a warning statement where it says warning statement by the suspect.
Yes.
Ngaqhubeka.
Where's the problem?
Inkinga iba kuphi?
Ilapho soyamchasisela.
That is where
Somtshelile amalungelo wakhe.
That is where
Uyiwarning.
you are now explaining to the suspect after you have informed him of their rights according to the warning.
Yes.
Ngaqhubeka.
I understand because uyamtshela ukuthi i-evidence onayo yiphi nayiphi eyenza ukuthi umcharge la.
And that suspect would understand, and you then inform the suspect of what evidence do you have that makes you to charge that suspect.
Yes.
And then base uyamtshela ukuthi ukhona ofuna ukusho na ngoba le form liyakuleader ukuthi no ukhona lokumele akusho la kule form abese asayina la ngaphansi.
And you then inform the suspect that is there anything that you want to say, and then at the end the suspect would sign after
Yes.
the suspect has informed you.
Uyahluka ngesikhathi umunye makathi uzokunikeza statement athi mina ngizokhuluma ecourt.
It differs. Some of the suspects, they would then say they will speak in court when you're asking them for a statement.
Yes.
Okunye ke ususpect uyagonyuluka makagonyuluka mina as a warrant officer. Ngiyastopha.
And at some instances, the suspect would then confess, and upon them confessing as a warrant officer, I would then stop.
Yes.
Kuluka ngitshela ko okuhambelana nale case engiyiphethe agonyuluka ngabo. Bese ngiyambuza ngimtshela amalungelo wakhe ngimtshela ukuthi akafostekile ukuthi no angayikhuluma lento la kimi.
Upon what the suspect is informing me, I would stop the suspect and inform them that they are not forced to tell me what they are about to tell me.
Yes.
Bese ngiyambuza ukuthi uma ngathola omunye umuntu ongazi lutho ngale case esikhuluma ngayo angamtshela yini lokho angitshela kona yena.
Then I would ask the suspect if I am to get an independent person that doesn't know anything about this particular case that we are referring to, will the suspect be able to inform that independent person what they wanted to inform me?
Uyaphendula komunye ukuthi akunankinga.
Then some suspects would agree that they do not have any problem.
Yes.
Mangathi akanankinga bese ngiyafona ngifonela mhlawumbe commander wami. Branch commander.
If the suspects say they do not have a problem, then I would contact my commander, which is the branch commander.
Then ngiyamtshela branch commander ukuthi ngiphenya iqala la. Ngiyasuspect lana ngiyayicharge bengibhali warning uthi ufuna ukwenza ufuna ugonyuluka.
And then I would inform the commander that I was charging the suspect, and whilst we were busy with the warning, the suspect wants to now make a confession.
Yes.
Kodwa ebengicela ukuthi ngikuchaze.
However, this is what I would like to explain.
Kule warning le njengoba sashilo ukuthi akanankinga yokuthi angatshela omunye umuntu
On that warning statement,
ngale case le engimchargela yona.
on that warning statement, as the suspect had already confirmed that they would not have any problem informing an independent person with regards to the particular case,
Ngiyabhala la khona la ngibhale ngithi no suspect ufuna ugonyuluka.
I would also write that the suspect wishes to make a confession,
Bese ngiyamsayinisa la ngaphansi.
then make the suspect to sign underneath.
Then khona ispace futhi la kusayina mina khona.
There is-
as an investigating officer.
There is also a space where myself, as an investigating officer, will sign.
Bese futhi kunye ngimbeka isithupha sakhe la asayine khona eduze kwesignature yakhe.
Then I would also take the thumbprint of that suspect and place it next to their signature.
Bese ngitshela ubranch commander ukuthi angi-arrangele. Mina ngingeni phela njengomuntu ophenya icala. Angi-arrangele kune-suspect efuna ukwenza efuna ugonyuluka.
Then I would inform the branch commander to arrange for me, as I am not part of it. I would ask the branch commander to arrange someone because the suspect wants to confess.
So the place where the suspect is kept doesn't matter. Does it matter as to the place where the suspect is kept?
Manje la umsolwa ayigcinwe khona, leyo ndawo isetshenziswe noma yanakwa ukuthi ugcinwe kuphi.
No, angithi makase baqedile uzobuya kimi ubranch commander athi umuntu ngimtholile. Bese ngiyamthatha ngimisa e-police station maseleni.
No, the branch commander would come back to me and inform me that they have gotten that independent person, and then they would I would then detain the suspect into the cells.
Yes, proceed.
Bega.
bese ngiyamtshela i-branch commander ukuthi igama le-suspect ubani.
And I would then inform the branch commander on who the name of the suspect is.
Ngimtshela ama-details we-case, ngimnikeze igama le-suspect, ngimnikeze i-SAP 14, ngimnikeze nokuthi udethainwe kuphi kuphela.
I do not disclose the details of the matter. I would inform the branch commander of the SAP 14 and where the suspect is detained at.
So is that all that you want to share with the court?
Yiko kodwa lokho ofuna ukutshela inkantolo?
O-branch commander uzenza konke yena, mina ngene lapho.
The branch commander would do everything and I would not be involved.
Nalaba mhlambe thola ukuthi mhlambe bengihamba nabo siyokwenza i-arrest nabo abangeni lapho abasondeli nje lapho.
And other arresting officers that maybe I was in company of when we arrested the suspect, they are also not part of that.
As we already heard Judge Ratha say, Warrant Officer Makhubo is just a warrant officer. He isn't a justice of the peace. What that basically means is he isn't a commissioned officer. But I'm sure the judge could have said that a little bit more, with a little bit much grace and a little bit, respecting his role. But hey, he's just a warrant officer. So he's not in a position to take a confession because he's not a commissioner of oaths. So then Makhubo goes ahead, regardless of what the judge has just said, explains to Ngomezulu what happens when he is taking a statement. So when a suspect is arrested, after a suspect is arrested, and Ngomezulu wants to know, is it usual practice for people to confess? And Makhubo says, of course it is. People do this all the time. This is the process that happens. So once a suspect is arrested, the police have evidence. A suspect should appear in court within the first 48 hours. And because of that, an officer has to charge him before they appear in court. Was Mzansi charged when he was arrested on the 19th of March 2019? No, because they then didn't proceed to charge him. They let him go. So that's the one thing that Makhubo comes to confirm to us, that the suspect must be charged within 48 hours, and they also must appear in court within 48 hours as well. So when you're charging a person, that is the point where you take their fingerprints. As well, you need to take their warning statements. We already are familiar with the word warning statement, and there's going to be a part 2 to warning statements over there in present day court, because Umnisi asked the brigadier to provide him with samples of warning statements, and the brigadier said, we have many different types. It depends on which police station. Everybody uses different ones. We're not all forced to use the same one, so everybody has different procedures. I feel that the brigadier said that because he had to combat what Makhubo outlines here as standard operating procedure on what happens when a suspect wants to proceed with a confession. So that's our homework to when Nisi starts going back into the warrant statement, when he receives the many different examples from Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda, is it going to match with what Makhubo is saying here? So it's definitely a developing story, and that's why I wanted to cover it before court starts again next week. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions with regards to warrant statements, and then maybe I can do an additional video again. Okay, so he says, Makhubo says you then take their fingerprints and you're going through the warrant statement. It's a process. It's a step-by-step process. I've actually, like I said, I outlined it in a previous video before. I walked through the entire steps of that document, and there's a part where they get to asking the suspect if they have a statement, and the suspect has the option to give the statement, or they can refuse to give the statement and say, I will do that in court. In the video I previously did, Patricia Mashale refused to give a statement, and that's fine. And then the next, or the suspect can begin to confess. So I think the document is designed for someone to start to give their confession voluntarily and freely, allegedly, okay? But because Warrant Officer Makhubo is not a commissioned officer, he cannot take a confession. So once someone is starting to confess, he has to pause them, and then he has to call his branch commander, let them know the suspect is about to confess, and the branch manager makes arrangements for a commissioned officer to come and take that confession. And that person has to be independent, know nothing about the case. Pay attention to this sentence, okay? If you can't underline it, they have to know nothing about the case, and then arrangements are made. All he gives the branch manager is the SAP 14 and where the suspect is detained. So whoever the commissioner of the statement is going to be, they then proceed with making arrangements to get the suspect out of detention. Then they do the warning statement, and it's designed so that it's neutral. There's no influence. This is the element of free and fair, right? Because this additional person, the suspect doesn't know them. They were not part of the arrest, so they don't feel intimidated to give a confession. Which leads me to, wait a damn minute. Wait a damn minute. But Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Geninda, because he's a brigadier, therefore he's a commissioned officer, Sergeant Mahola, Mohane, who else? All those were present during the alleged confessions of Mzansi and Ubongani Ndanzi. So was that ethical? According to how Makhubo is explaining it, was that ethical? And I could see why Ngomezulu needed a General Lishabane on the stand, because it would be interesting to ask a higher ranked officer or member of the South African Police Services to get a better understanding of how exactly does this warning statement work, who can take it, who can be present in the room, in order for it to be free and fair. I'm going to end this here. We'll go in the next video, okay? Ngomezulu introduces Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Geninda. You want to make sure you catch that video, because it's at this point when Ngomezulu discusses Geninda and warning statements, and it is so unfortunate there is not going to be a continuation of this in terms of when court resumes of Ngomezulu cross-examining Geninda with regards to this portion. But when you watch the video, pay attention, because you're going to see the passion Ngomezulu has. But I'm going to end this video here, so this is not too long. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next upload. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to drop the next video right away so that it's a continuation. I saw you guys in my previous video. You're like, where's part 3? Where's part 3? Where's part 3? Drop a soccer emoji in the comment section down below if you're happy to have watched part 3. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on my next upload.